My name is Chloe Reichelt, and today I want to tell you the story of Tank Man. I want to tell you the three ways in which I feel his story demonstrates servant leadership. In his commitment to humanity, in the way he seized an opportunity, and how I feel he serves as a role model for what Theodore Roosevelt would call the average citizen. In Beijing in 1989, there was a massacre led by the Chinese government. Thousands of students gathered in Tiananmen Square to host a pro-democracy, anti-corruption protest. Hundreds of those same students left Tiananmen Square in body bags. The picture you see before you is one of an unknown man, still unknown 24 years later, who stepped in front of the tanks, halting their progress towards the people-filled square and refused to let them pass. You'll notice, looking at this picture, that the man who stands in front of the tank is ordinary looking. He doesn't seem, at first glance, to match with the images of leadership we see in popular media. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'll notice that he has poor posture and thin, slumping shoulders. It's this very frailty that demonstrates to me the first tenet of being a servant leader. You must have, above all, an inner commitment to humanity. Servant leadership isn't about your outward trappings of power. It isn't about your salary or the car that you drive or your muscles. It's about your inner commitment, the kind of inner commitment that might lead you to stand in front of tanks at a protest where hundreds have already been killed, even though there's nothing but your human body standing in the way. Servant leadership is about the kind of powerful inner commitment that might stop a tank in its tracks where a human body alone could not. What you might not see in this picture, until you look closer, is that Tank Man is carrying two plastic grocery bags. Some have speculated that Tank Man wasn't even at Tiananmen Square for the protest, but just happened to see the tanks on his way home and decided to take action. It's this that demonstrates to me the second tenet of servant leadership. Every moment is an opportunity for action, whether you be walking home from the grocery store or even sitting here in this classroom. The third lesson we can learn from Tank Man is in his display of the power of the average citizen, even in the face of an oppressive state. When I look at this picture, I'm struck by how small Tank Man is and how large the tanks are. This, to me, demonstrates the power of the average citizen, even in the face of the most oppressive government. You can grind any government to a halt if you work hard enough. When I look at this photo, I feel inspired by his hidden identity, his nondescript body and clothing, by the things that underscore how average he is. It reminds me that ordinary citizens are capable of extraordinary things. Like that white shirt, like those grocery bags, standing in front of a tank can be average too. Looking at Tank Man, I feel confident that in my lifetime, everyone in this room will drop their metaphorical grocery bags for one moment and remind me that the line between ordinary and extraordinary is thinner than we think. Thank you.
Information and trying to to what we live in class, and the name was like awesome. Okay. Anybody else? Yes? Behind me?
I think it was I noticed her hands were shaking, but then she really didn't seem like she was there one day. She seemed very confident. She seemed to, or she was able to give out information.
Okay. Anybody else?
And I really like your conversation. I like the content.
Alright. So, I think it was great also. And I think it was a good blend between a speech and, presenting, going back and forth. Now, the comments that you're making, we all react differently when we're nervous or when we're anxious. Some people's hands shake, some people's voices shake, some people start sweating. And for some people, if you're sweating in your palms, nobody knows, right? But one of the things you want to do, if you know that you have shaky hands, the last thing you want to do is to fold essentially. So that I would rather put it down and then look at it and talk and then go back and forth as opposed to holding it. Then it becomes a bit of a distraction. But otherwise, I think the content was great, the linkages were also great. Thank you.